Why don't our dogs have teeth? Anyway, that's not why we want to discuss that. We want to talk about the dentistry in this country. What is dentistry? Ukiumwa na meno, umwa na meno saa hii fela, utaenda kuona nani?
Daktari wa meno.
Unajuaje ni daktari wa meno?
Dentist. Kwa sababu, actually, that's a good question. How do I know?
And why should you go and see a daktari wa meno if you just, kama ni meno tu inauma? Yeah?
It's...
So you just go to the next health center there. If you go to a next health facility there and you find somebody, akupatia painkiller, wewe ni daktari wa meno.
Si kama manage kutoa hiyo uchungu, anaweza kuwa ni daktari wa meno.
Okay. Kama ulikuwa unakula nyama, meno ikavunjika, uende kwa daktari.
Utaenda kwa daktari mgani?
Utaenda kwa daktari mgani?
Ule mwenye atasaidia kutoa hiyo uchungu.
That's it, right? As a patient, who are we looking? Our health system and the way we have known it is you go to a practitioner in a facility.
Yeah.
You trust, number one, that this facility is licensed and registered by the government and is being supervised and inspected by the government.
Yes.
Then you also trust, number two, that the person that you find there has been trained and found to be fit to be at that facility and to offer the services.
Yeah.
And if there's some services that they are not able to offer, then they'll refer you to somebody who is able to offer those services.
Correct.
Either by training or by the capacity of the facility. True? Now, dentists the other day were causing because their regulator, the regulator of dentists and doctors, has gone to say we are actually going now to allow other people to practice some aspects of dentistry. And we read that in the news fix the other day, and we were like, their regulator is saying, I'm going to allow some people. And then they're saying that is unlawful.
Yeah.
Surely, what is that all about?
What is that?
That's what we want to discuss this morning with the president of the Kenya Dental Association, Dr. Kahura Mundia. Good morning.
Good morning.
Karibu sana.
Asante sana, niko mzima.
You know how we normally begin? Fela is going to give you the day's quote.
Karibu sana. Today's quote is courtesy of a Nigerian novelist, essayist, and poet, Ben Okri. And the quote reads, "The world has no side from which it may be approached and said, I know it." The world has no side from which it may be approached and said, I know it. How do you interpret that?
Well, you say like the world is too big to be known how it works. And there could be more than one way of getting to a particular point or direction. That's what I would want to understand the methali or whatever it is about.
It is a quote, but it's what did you say?
Methali.
The world is too big.
Yeah, to be understood, which is true.
It's yet to be explored.
Yeah, and we're still discovering. Okay.
No one can claim to know the world from holistically.
Yeah.
You just know a bit of it, not much. All right, Daktari, on the 23rd of July, you released a press statement by the Kenya Dental Association on the unlawful publication of a scope of practice for unqualified persons to provide dental services. This statement was so strongly worded that it actually leaves you with a toothache. The Kenya Dental Association expresses its profound concern and unequivocal condemnation of the reported publication by the Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentists Council, KMPDC, of a purported scope of practice that seeks to authorize persons who are not qualified dentists to provide dental care services. KDA considers this action to be unlawful, irrational, procedurally sickening, and contrary to the Constitution, the Health Act, and the statutory mandate of the Council. Any attempt to expand clinical dental practice through administrative publications rather than through lawful legislative and regulatory processes is an abuse of statutory power and cannot confer legal authority where none exists. 10. Nasikiaje meno?
Didi.
Nasikia Didi? Kama mama shilingi.
Unasikia sensitive.
Very sensitive.
What's going on?
Well, a lot is going on. And that's why the practitioners in the field have come out to defend the profession. And the defense of a profession is the ultimate common good of all Kenyans. Because all Kenyans deserve the best of whatever services they seek at, be it at a Huduma center, be it at a health center, be it at the referral hospitals. So if you don't get that, you're getting shortchanged. And someone must speak out for it, because sometimes what we see that is played out there may not be the right thing. And some people are always out to game the system, to play shortcuts here and there. And the laws exist to guide these processes. We have the accountants with ISPAC, we have the lawyers with LSK, you have the architects with their AAK. Everybody is regulated, because if there was no regulation, it will be chaos. It will be everyone going for the others, playing games just to make shortcuts and killings for everywhere. So the Dental Association has been around for the last 60 plus years, since 1960. And it's in charge of whatever I've stated, the mandates of advancing dentistry access and practice in the country. So 1 month ago, not even 1 month ago, like 3 or 4 weeks ago, a group of persons who are non-dentists decided to sit and discuss and approve. They're by themselves. From today, we'd say, Latif and yourself, you'll be starting to do surgeries. And you can do it. And we have said it's okay. We said, no, we can't allow that. Persons who are not doctors, persons who are not dentists cannot discuss the aspects of training, of dentistry, which is a very advanced medical degree course, which requires a lot of rigorous competence assessments by specialist doctors. If that is not done, then you're not a qualified doctor. It's a very lengthy training. It takes about 5 years in school, 1 year internship, and more supervised trainings as years go by for you to become a competent practitioner who is licensed by the regulator. And we expect the regulator to uphold public trust, not to abuse office, and to assure Kenyans that wherever they go, in each health facility, they are seeking services that they deserve.
Who's this group that sat down?
This group of persons who sat down, persons who sit in our regulatory board, we supposed to engage as stakeholders. We do not engage. They just one day decide it shall be. And it shall be against a court order. So persons are sitting fit, having obeyed a court order of 2021 about the aspects of clinical dental practice. There's a court order that says do not do this and that until this and this is done. Never done, but straight go ahead and do the wrong things. Now, away from that, on the aspects of healthcare being devolved, every healthcare facility from level 3 all the way to level 6, we have doctors there who are offering services to Kenyans. So the aspect of, let's say today doctors are not available or not, that's the aspect of governors not having their facilities well resourced. We have a number of jobless doctors in the country who are yet to come in and serve these places. So if doctors are not well distributed, it's not the issue of saying from today, we're going to say now, so-and-so can do. That is quackery. If you're not trained, if you have never known even that is a cup, you're not that. You cannot use it. You cannot do it.
Dr. Mundia,
it's very sad.
You. I think just so that we have a good conversation. Be fair.
I'm being very fair
to your regulator.
Yes.
Your regulator has not said that Eric, who has never gone into any level of training, can now offer dental services. I am sure that's not what your regulator has said. So let's be fair to the regulator. Don't extend it to that level of saying now Eric and Falaris. So let's start with this. Let's go a couple of steps back. Okay? There is a degree of medicine and surgery.
Yes.
All right? Those are the ones who train as doctors.
They end up as medical practitioners.
They end up as medical practitioners. Okay. Those are not dentists.
They are not dentists, but they're trained in medicine, pharmacy, and the aspects of dentistry, just so that we can coordinate in how we work as caregivers.
Okay. Out there in the field, they have the title doctor.
Yes.
Okay. They train for 6 years. 5 + 1 internship.
And you come out.
And then they come out and they're regulated and licensed by the Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentists Council.
Yes.
Okay. You, Dr. Mundia, what degree course did you take?
Yes. Now, dentistry, world over, East African standards as per the established training regulations, is the Bachelor of Dental Surgery. It combines both medicine, nursing, pharmacy, and dentistry. So dentistry is even more specialized than these other degrees because you have to learn all these aspects of how care is given. Because you come across a human body that has so many ailments, and you need to be able to pick out what is coming out for you to manage very well and plan a referral case for the patient. So that's how dentistry is studied.
So
almost in
Bachelor
all countries in the world.
of Dental Surgery.
Bachelor of Dental Surgery.
Which is different from Bachelor of Medicine and Surgery.
Yes, yes. But we start common courses together up to third year, then we branch out to
You specialize
specializations now.
nyinyi mnaingia mambo ya meno.
Yes.
Okay. Now, it's the same. 6 years, one of which is internship.
Yes.
And then you are licensed by the same
same regulator.
Medical Practitioners and Dentists Council.
So
Okay.
in some countries,
You
it's
also are
separate.
called doctor. You know?
Yes.
So the doctor who is a medical officer is a doctor.
Yeah.
The doctor who's a dental surgeon is a doctor. There's the other cadre of doctors,
Yes.
pharmacists.
Yes. Now, in 1998, pharmacists used to be called misters. And for a long time, even some countries are still called misters. For a long time, there was a lot of the pharmacists not being taken as doctors. But they're the ones who finish off the aspects of a person healing.
Yes.
Because that is not fair, that they're the most learned about pharmaceutical agents, and the aspects of whatever they do, they empower the doctors to finish off their work. So as stakeholders met, it was agreed that they do confer the aspects of calling pharmacists doctors. And it has become so adopted in some countries, and that's a standard now world over.
A couple of questions that come out of this is, one, there has to be something that informed the body to make this decision, correct? I'd want us to interrogate that. Are we trying to bridge a gap in terms of capacity? Are we trying to formalize people that are already practicing, and we might as well then include them into the fold so that they're not operating outside the supervision of the association or the council? And let's look at those two, because in every problem or situation like this, there's an opportunity, and I see a very big opportunity here in terms of formalizing. Bring them to the fold, because these are not people who are inexperienced and people who've not gotten a level of training. Look at those.
So let me put it this way. In all health centers, you have nurses. In all health centers, we have a clinical officer. In all health centers, you have a doctor. In all health centers, you'll have a pharmaceutical technologist or another person or a lab technician or something. We're all trained in different aspects of what is happening in the healthcare aspect. You know that requires that requires to be sent there. So, and it's a chain of workers who know what to do about the system.
Correct.
So you are trained to end up to do this and that and that, and that's your license scope. You also have public health officers who are supposed to make sure that healthcare is well accessed and there are no issues out there in the communities. So when you go to school, you are told this is the philosophy of the course you're learning, this is what you'll end up, and this is what you'll get to do out there. And that has not changed. The policies are still the same, the stakeholders are still the same, the country needs are still the same. So when out of the blues, outside policy, outside law, sitting at Naivasha, how do you decide without anybody's inputs that this is it? So it becomes a little bit awkward when you say from today, I'm a face surgeon. From today, I've been told I'll have to practice neurosurgery. I'll be like, why now? Because one day you saw me watching neurosurgical cases, now I should do? No, it's not possible, because there is aspects of being supervised in that particular field.
Okay.
And maybe that's what we are opening this up to, and that's where I'm seeing the opportunity. And you could correct me if I'm wrong. Is that first? What is the state? What are the numbers looking like? And are there gaps that we're seeking to address in terms of making sure that we are, bringing, say, X number of oral healthcare practitioners to bridge the gap? Do Kenyans have access to dentists with every sense of the word? Are we trying to address a capacity issue?
Thank you. Well, there is no capacity issue. honestly speaking. We have 638 obstetricians in the country.
Obstetricians
Yes.
are
The persons who assist mothers to give birth. 638. We have about 238 neurosurgeons. The statistics are out there. We have even our neighboring countries with the statistics as well, even in higher populations than us. So there is no gap being addressed because every healthcare facility has healthcare workers who are knowledgeable to understand what is happening, to manage pain, and to refer. Otherwise, we'd say, we don't require all these cadres. You all do the same things from today henceforth. You are a nurse, do everything. You are the lab technician, do everything. Because there is no capacity and we're having issues.
How many dental surgeons do you have?
So we have about 2,200 dental surgeons.
2,200.
Yes. Since 1976. Our neighbors, our neighboring countries, even higher populations, are doing worse off.
Okay.
And the standards world over have not been bent or shifted, because when you bend and shift, there's a how the country is looked at as how you guys doing.
The
These are not
2,200,
standards.
are they all in employment?
No. This is now the issue.
How many do we have
We have since
practicing?
2015, the county governments have failed to employ medical officers, dentists, pharmacists, and they just don't want to employ because they say the wage bill is too high. So they'd rather sit with whatever staff they had. If you had one, it's the county government just refusing to employ. So when you don't want to assure Kenyans of their right to access healthcare, as per the devolved government's positions, whose issue is it?
So how many dental surgeons do you have trained and qualified and licensed in Kenya
Trained,
today?
qualified, and retained. You see, the issue of licensure is something personal. So doctors, some of them don't want to. There are always those other persons who either quit.
It's okay.
Or
How
retired.
many do we have that are licensed?
I think we do
practice
have
today?
about, the ones that are visible on the system, they're about 1,200, thereabouts.
So
The ones who are visible,
200
who have paid up
are currently
for the
licensed.
for the 2026.
currently licensed
But
to
they
practice.
could have been paid for 2025. They did not pay for 2026.
Yeah.
So
Current,
that's-
if they didn't pay, it
So
is them.
it is-
They
yes,
cannot
it is.
practice.
But they're out
The
there
point is,
doing-
by law, they should not practice.
Yes, they're out doing-
1,200 are licensed to practice as dental surgeons in the country today.
Yes.
How many of these are in public health facilities?
Now, how many of these doctors are in? Most of them are actually in public health facilities.
Okay.
We do have about 800, 800 in public facilities. That's from level 3s all the way to level 6s. And they come in different types, different specialization, different master qualifications.
Yeah.
Because that's how the specialty or the field of dentistry operates.
Okay.
So
Where are the
that's
other
the status.
400?
Well, there's a number that is out there that since 2015, when direct posting and employment was there, they have not been employed. So they're out here waiting to get deployed.
Okay.
So once in a while an opportunity shows up, they are called in to find a county saying they want like 1 or 2. They'd go in and get deployed there and they'll start working and they offer services. So when they are there, in a dental unit, you have a team. You are the team lead as a highly occupied or trained person in that area. You have a dental nurse, you have a dental lab person, and you have the dentist or a specialist to refer to the different cases that you work with. And then you have that department operating as it is.
Okay. So a dental nurse.
A dental nurse,
And then the other one is?
a dental lab person,
dental lab.
and then we do have the dentist, the general dentist practitioner,
Right.
and then the specialist dentist,
Okay.
who come in different styles. So you see, it's a chain of workers who work together to give the best care. Everyone
Okay.
is trained to do something in that ecosystem.
Now,
Okay.
if I went to a health facility today with a dental issue, what are the chances of me finding a dental surgeon, a dentist?
A dentist. Well, chances are high that you'll find a dentist in counties. These are public facilities now. Counties where persons in charge of health are aware of the true needs of their people.
Okay.
When they know that these are our people, these are our children, they need to be taken care of. So you must make sure that you have these particular staff workers. So if that does not happen, it is not the problem of the regulator.
So who will I find in those counties that are not aware?
You'll probably find a chief officer who's probably a teacher in charge of healthcare. You probably find someone in charge of the Ministry of Health in the county government.
No, in the facility.
In the facility to find these workers.
I'm a patient. Ninaumwa na meno.
Yes.
Nimegongwa meno imevunjika, broken a jaw,
let's begin hapa Kiambu. To Kiambu level 5 hapa muende pale Thika. You'll find all of them. You'll find the lab person, you'll find the nurse, you'll find the person who's supposed to educate patients, who is the community oral health officer, a dentist, and a specialist.
Okay.
Well-placed places like there are counties that are really doing well, like Nairobi County.
Okay.
Wengine vituko tu. Ni governors na wajui mambo ya healthcare.
Yeah, there's a reason I'm asking this, because the question that Philaris is asking is about the gaps and challenges.
Yeah.
If I went from Kimana and Nomona Meno, there's a Kimana Health Center right there.
Who will you find there?
Yes.
Sir.
Will I find somebody who is qualified to deal with my meno issues?
Yeah. At the health center, but the way healthcare is categorized in Kenya from level 1 to level 6, there are those community centers that pick up and feed the cases into it's like a hub and spoke model.
Okay.
They filter in and they refer in for treatments. If there's pain management, some nurses will probably manage that, the clinical officers to manage that.
Okay.
Sometimes in some outposts, you'll have a doctor who's aware that you're in pain, and they'll relieve you pain, and then they give the correct referral. Okay. But if you come in the particular difficult case, you'll be referred out.
They refer me up. Up is Oloitoktok level 4. So if I go to Oloitoktok level 4,
yes, you'll find a doctor there.
I'll find.
Yes.
Will I find a dental surgeon?
Yes.
I'll find a surgeon there.
Yes. Because a community center is like one room. Or 2 rooms. 2 rooms cannot be well resourced or equipped to have all this stuff, all this equipment. Otherwise, healthcare will be very expensive. In countries like Cuba, from level 1, you have all the doctors up. So maybe it's a conversation we can rethink as Kenyan to think how we have our primary care. We change how it's set up, that's from level 1 to level 6, to have all cadres up rather than having lower centers without doctors. Why that happens is because years back, we did not have so many doctors. So those lower levels were left not staffed, and the higher levels were left staffed. But now today, it's not where we were in 1963. We have so many doctors coming up, and this aspect of not filling them up is a question. Someone is saying healthcare is not development. Spending in healthcare is development, and that's a question that we have to fix with the wage bill.
There's the question that we're trying to get into who are these other persons who've been licensed
thank you.
by the council to practice, and what's the extent of the practice, and what the issue would be. But let's take a break, then you'll tell us about that, right? Because now you've told us there's a dental surgeon, akona degree, kama any dentist, daktari, then there's a nurse, there's a lab,
an educator, public health educator who is a community oral health officer.
Community oral health officer.
Yes,
is a public health educator.
Reduce the disease burden.
Okay. Okay. We are getting to understand, who practices what. Meno inauma, jaw inauma, nini, what's happening in your
Gums
mouth.
zinatoa
damu. Who sorts you out on those, and are they licensed? That's a conversation we're having with the president of the Kenya Dental Association, Dr. Kahura Mundia. Watu wameanza kuchemka online.
Yes, in fixers who've checked in, wako na maswali, and some thoughts, so we'll just sample a couple of those. We have Onesmus Kimani. No, actually, wait. Yes, there's nothing to discuss there. Koho has been there since 1985. The only thing scaring them is the job market referral programs. Has been there since existence. Francis Opondo saying Kahura lies like he's a direct descendant. Francis Opondo, tuambie ni kwa nini hivyo. Son of Cronus, the training of dentists is under the government. KMPDC should instead encourage government to increase public institutions that train dentists from 2 to a minimum of 6. Bibi Usuni, good morning fixers, karibu sana daktari. Haya tuko hewani tusikie maswala ya meno kabla hatujakuwa kibogoyo. Francis Opondo goes on to say, the said cadre has been in practice since 1980s, and they're trained to do more promotive, curative, and preventative oral health services. These cadres have been practicing through the guidance of SOS. Baraka Sagna saying general health practitioners should be allowed to attend to patients. Complex cases can then be referred to specialists such as dentists, dermatologists, ophthalmologists, and so on. Son of Kronos, there is also an economic aspect to this discussion. Access to dentists is minimal. Dentists are few and considered to be expensive. The solution is to train more dentists, not allow others to perform. And you'll just give your thoughts on all of this, Daktari. Trying to see here, still Mike, the one saying, we've seen horrible cases on TV where even people die seeking their services. How can you differentiate between a quack, addict, or a predatory dentist? It's serious out here. And that brings us to the question that Eric had on who are these persons that are to be registered or who have been proposed to be registered as oral healthcare practitioners. And we'll also still sample some of the feedback that's coming from fixers towards the end of this conversation.
I could respond to that. Thank you. So when the country got independence, we had Indian doctors. There were no universities training doctors. And the country had to set shop to train doctors. And they did start in 1966, where the University of Nairobi was the first one to train doctors. And about 4 years later, 1974, they started the School of Dentistry. And since then, dentists have been trained at the University of Nairobi. And later on, more universities has come to train dentists. Now, as we went by, that was the norm. But it felt like we need public educators to reduce disease burden in almost all aspects of healthcare. Have public health officers go do the general body work and have maybe community workers, like you have had CHVs, CHPs, all these people who are supposed to go and educate people about how to manage yourself and reduce disease burdens. But there also was a position that around 1980s, mid-80s, it was like, let's also have specialized educators about this issue so that we reduce the disease burden. And there was a concept of community oral healthcare workers. To go out there, educate the public, talk to mothers, talk to children in school, and help reduce the disease burden. Because if we don't control by prevention, you'll have everyone not getting informed. Cases go up. We don't have not much capacity to train persons to the output that they're supposed to be coming out. So prevention is very key. Prevention is very key because if you don't prevent, you have a million cases coming up that strain the system and then everyone is frustrated. So those few years of 1985 all the way to around 1995, somehow government used to work. Persons would finish school, get posted, get to do jobs, and everything was in order because that was the shortages and the understanding of that time. But we came to Kibaki government, direct posting, employments in some cadres, in some sectors started to be cut because of all these adjustments. And persons were left jobless because the schools are training the educators, and if that is not happening, the need to survive is very critical.
Correct.
So persons adapt to go out there and do more than what they are trained to do because it's all for survival mechanisms. That's a history.
And there's demand anyway.
The demand is there is need for these services. And now the good thing is that with the demand, there were opportunities created. If you've trained as an educator, you've trained as a public health officer, a nurse, a dental assistant, a technologist, you can come in with that paper and enroll to the university and now qualify to the thing that you wanted to be. So there's a route already established. There's a highway. So you start at this point, you already have an entry by one step in there. You just need to join in and get more fully competent and trained and provide the services. Now, to shortcut the process is whereby you start saying, I'll go on YouTube, I'll go out here, I'll go observe things, not supervised by how training is known world over, and you start saying you start doing procedures. That's why now we hear abscesses, infections, broken jaws, you have court cases all over. Because why is this happening? Because there is a lot of need, and the need must be checked. It's not because I'm telling you, come, I'll charge you 100 shillings, you go there. No, it doesn't go that way. The reason why services are charged to the particular level is to assure quality, because the inputs into it are costly. So there's no way services can be a little bit more expensive, cheaper than the inputs into the work. And if anyone can just do anything because it's an easy job, that's not true. The human body is sacrosanct. It has blood. It's alive. There is pain. There is all that faith in what you're trained as a doctor. There is a philosophy of who are you? You're a caregiver. So if you're not taken through those ethos of training, you cannot one day just say, I think it's an easy thing. I can just start cutting people. You've had mothers die. You've had the other person already serving time in prison for doing things with obstetric care. You have someone die this year in January because there was need. They went somewhere, they were mismanaged, they were still kept there, and even when they were referred, it was too late and they died off. So a lot of things do not need to happen because you want to create or manage something that does not exist. Enforcement of standards and educating the public is the best way to prevent all these things. But less costly. The regulator just needs to say, please, this is where you need to go and seek this and this. Don't go for shortcuts. And these persons, please, you are useful. We actually work together. In my department, I have a number of these educators. And we work together so peacefully and it's all successful. So we are not having a fight. I didn't even understand the topic for today that we are fighting. No, dentistry is a field of care. We have different workers in there. Everyone with their role. Everyone is supposed to just do what you're trained to do. If you feel like this is now too much, I refer. But I cannot say one day, Eric, I've seen you like an interest with the root canal treatments. Tomorrow start doing root canal treatments. It can't work.
So
That's illegality. You cannot accord competence by word of mouth.
tell me,
It doesn't work like that
Tell
in
me.
the world of medicine.
somebody who does not have a master's in dental surgery, they just have the basic degree, what can they not do that somebody with a master's degree can do? Let's start from there.
Thank you. You see, when we began again in 1974, there were persons going to go abroad for training for masters. We did not have universities that had capacity to train masters levels.
Yeah.
So most of our medical practitioners and our dentists and maybe pharmacists were trained holistically to offer as much care to the population. But as we have gone and progressed as a country, we have gone ahead to now specialize into these fields because we want persons who are the best in those particular areas. So a general dentist is trained in majority of the procedures that are expected to be known out there.
Like,
Now, we have surgery.
what is surgery?
Now, there is oral surgery.
Okay.
You are trained in managing abscesses, infections, management of trauma, if there is that case, and if there are cancers, maybe small biopsies, and considering that for referral. But even as you had all these issues, we always had specialists who were trained. There were many scholarships in the 80s, 90s, so that we get to have capacity. When the capacity was built, we started now growing our inborn. Now, we have pediatric dentistry.
Okay.
We have orthodontics, that's the aspect of placing braces.
Okay.
So that's a specialized 5-year master's degree in the country and even abroad.
Doing the braces.
Braces.
Okay.
But now, everywhere, like the other day I was here, braces are being offered on TikTok
Yeah.
by quacks. I call them quacks in capital letters.
So it's
if
not-
you have never gone to an orthodontic class, be assessed for 5 years. Whatever your training is quackery. And that's a call for all Kenyans to be on the lookout.
So
the games are
not-
out there too many.
A dentist is not ideally qualified.
A dentist is trained in the basic aspects of providing orthodontic care. That's
Okay.
braces. Yes. And then the specialized care is on the specialized doctor who's an orthodontist.
Okay.
Yes. So any other person in the country, as we speak in Kenya, is not, again in capital letters, competent, ever, not in the curriculum. And if it was in the curriculum, it was just like mentioning, like, this is braces. So this is braces is not.
And
This is
I'm
latest,
curious
these are teeth.
because if the dental association is very clear about who's supposed to do what, and you can see
We are the key stakeholders in the country. But you are not
Correct.
consulted.
And
And
yet-
when you give the opinion, the non-dentist thinks to know better about the field of practice.
yet these
Awkward.
clinics and persons are still operating even with the knowledge of
Yes,
the
we
association.
have reported so many complaints. Incompetence is the order of the day.
Who are we reporting to?
We report them to the regulator.
The
As
council.
we speak right now, I have over 45 complaints sitting with the regulator. Capacity, I have no capacity to sit, we have no committee, we have no quorum. Every day, we have managed to educate Kenyans. Whenever you are treated by a quack, you have suffered treatment issues, report to us, we report the regulator and authorities for care to be followed through. They sit saying we have no capacity. Patients are hurting and it's not right. And now to make matters worse is you also come and now to avoid the work, you say it's okay. Go ahead. Now legalize it.
That's where we're going.
Yeah.
So we are
Becomes a bit
saying
weird.
that somebody who has gone through this med school and studied dental surgery for the 5 years, and then they've gone for internship for the 1 year, they've come back, they've been licensed, they still haven't qualified for some specialized care in dental
So,
care.
you see, in general practice is general. You're
General.
trained in A, B, C, D, E.
Yeah.
Then when you go to specialize, you go to just E or D.
Okay, you
So
pick one,
they have
orthodontist.
Orthodontics, pediatric care, there is restorative dentistry, there is endodontics, a master's of training to become a specialist in just root canal treatments.
Wow.
Only root canal treatment. Master's degree, 4 5 years.
On
that's
just
it.
root canal treatment.
Root canal treatments.
Okay.
The other one is restorative treatments that you just go to do now, aesthetics, cosmetics, because Kenyans and everyone wants to look good.
Okay.
It's easy money when I tell you, come, we just make you shine, you look good. So, and because of the allure of it's 5,000, it's 2,000, it's 1,000, it's 500, you come. So it's a con game.
Yeah.
Okay.
To come because you are in need. Yes, the need is there.
Correct.
But the tagging is a touting which is not allowed in medical practice. To advertise for I can do when I'm not trained. Just come because I can. And
Because
there's no
I
one
can.
coming for my neck because the regulator is asleep. So it becomes a sector that is thriving.
Okay.
So
Now-
it's a social issue of misregulation and incompetence for the person who's supposed to regulate the sector.
Okay. The dental nurse goes through their own training, right?
Yes.
Either KMTC or degree programs. Same as the lab,
The lab person.
technician, right? Now, what about the oral healthcare officer?
Yes, oral health officers are also trained at KMTC. It's a known degree. It's a known training.
Yeah.
As it started around
It's
the
not-
1980s.
Yeah.
And they're trained to do that scope of practice, to educate, to understand issues in oral healthcare, and provide information to persons who need that, and then manage the emergent cases as they arise.
Like?
And then refer. The emergent cases will be like you have an abscess. Instead of waiting for the abscess to balloon up, drain it and then refer.
So they can drain
They can drain the abscess. And if you have pain and it's a simple extraction and it's an easy one, you go ahead and remove it. It's all known. It's even in the law. This scope is in the law.
So they can
Okay.
remove teeth.
Yes, they can remove teeth.
They
Simple
can-
cases, not all cases. Others you can cause issues, so that's why you have to refer. Not all teeth are the same. That's the other thing that persons forget.
So
Every
the
tooth is not the
as
same.
a simple case is
Simple case, simple case is easy kama meno za mbele that are like single rooted. The science of removing is easy, but when you go to remove the back tooth, there's a court case. Someone has been charged about 700,000 for breaking someone's jaw because they think, and it's the same people. In the training, they're told refer. Don't just go in for the money. Just refer, because when you break someone's jaw, you'll have to call the surgeon. You have the person getting admitted for 4 weeks. What for? So you don't need to just collect that 200 shillings when you don't know it's not your area. Just refer.
Is that scope clear? Has that scope
The
been
scope is
clear?
in law and it's clear. There is, even right now, I could reference it to. The only thing is that the regulator has defied their own law, defied whatever the policy states. So it's abuse of office, but it's not abuse of office without reasonable cause. There is probably something mischievous going through because I cannot make law. Laws are made in parliament. And if the law exists and you're in contempt of it, you just have no reason to be in that office.
It still goes back to whatever we were discussing earlier in terms of the critical gaps that are there at the most primary and basic level. That for the simple extractions that can be handled by an oral healthcare officer, that those are okay. But where there's complexity and there
Refer.
not being capacity, or even the referral system not being quick enough, then we
Or
need
accessible.
or accessible.
It doesn't work that way in healthcare because of a sacrosanct nature of a human body.
And we are in full recognition of that, but coming back to the problem, and the problem being speed at which these services are accessible, speed at which these professionals are accessible. Because if you've gone down on the ground, even for a simple x-ray, for example, that you have to maybe go to a facility that is far from your place, and then second is the professional you're meant to see has a schedule that maybe you'll end up seeing him after 2 or 3 weeks. It's an emergency that needs to be attended to. So how do we bridge that gap? If at all you have some of these practitioners who actually then have been training and doing this long enough for them to actually then be able to handle some of these procedures, are we simply locking them out and saying unless you go and qualify by the standards in which you've prescribed here, that's the only time you'll be able to handle these procedures? Is there an element of gatekeeping?
Now, all professions are gatekept. That's why you are not a lawyer. I'm not an architect. Because even if I know how to build a house, you've seen houses collapse. It's
correct.
They collapse because of shortcuts.
But these are people who are operating within that
how-
sector. These are not strangers. These are
Yes.
people who are
Yes.
exposed to the issues
I
and
agree.
have already been handling
I
them.
agree. Masons operate in the sector of building. They build houses. They can do architectural work, they can do surveying, and they can do all that. But it's not right. So even if you're in that space, even if you're a cleaner in that space, you cannot say, I've always seen the doctor use these instruments. Now I think I can start because the doctor today is unwell. Now I can go in and
You've
do this
demonstrated ability to do so.
You see, training is not watching with your eyes. There is something that has to go in here about what is this and what will happen if you do something wrong. I cannot do things. I cannot take a plane and start saying, because I can just press this button, it goes on, or the pilot, it goes on.
Again, you know, Daktari,
Or even the
most important point of what I'm trying to bring out here is you have not only been exposed long enough to these conditions, you are operating under the supervision, for example, of a doctor who's qualified, and you've been able to learn the ropes. Because that doctor has seen a need here and has seen that we're actually then able to... I don't want to call it mentorship, but this person has demonstrated capacity and capability to do this. And if you're to call all of these people in and examine them and give them this qualification because they're actually helping your industry, they're helping your body to be able to meet the needs of your patients.
I do follow your processes. Working in a team does not equate to everyone being the same in the team. So if roles are not well defined, we start creating room for chaos. Because if complications arise, and right now they are coming in droves, doctors have now to really manage these cases of malpractice. The trust in the quality of care that we offer as doctors, as Kenyans, as a country, goes down. That trust makes everyone become a complainant in the system. From the 45 complaints, they rise up to now thousands. And no solutions to it, because you cannot just fix by a day an issue that you've not planned for. If you want to have issues of staffing numbers, we don't have a staffing numbers, by the way. Our ratios of dentists to the population, they look somehow adequate, and every year we're having numbers coming out, graduation. So if you had 2 more or 3 more universities, like we have KU coming up, you have Igaron coming up, you have Maseno coming up. And even the other day, one of these universities that is upgrading some of these persons, upgrading by weekend classes. There is no training in medicine and dentistry that can happen over the weekend. Nowhere in the world. Weekend. Saturday, Sanane Mbaka siyu wapi.
Why not?
Cannot. Because of the complexity of caseload management. You see.
So what's wrong with what's the difference between Friday and Saturday?
Friday na Saturday hakuna watu. Saturday na Sunday hakuna wagonjwa. Na hata ukipata unapata watatu. Those are not enough cases. There's a reason why medical school runs full time in a whole year. To give you exposure to the competence that you deserve. So the day you see something, you know what to do. And the reason why it takes long, because it's intense. You cannot short-circuit it with a 2-year weekend program. Hakuna kitu kama hiyo. And then again, different scopes. And then again, you're not being trained by persons who are supposed to be training you. Shida tena.
What is the middle
kuna
ground
shida
here?
mingi. Now they have been advised to upgrade. Curriculum ziko. Standards of universities are there. It just requires resources to just set up shop and train the right way.
Can the scope at training be expanded?
Now, scope at training...
At curriculum. So let's say that somebody is going to train in at... start from that level of community oral health officer, right? Can the training be expanded there so that then they come up with more competencies?
Yeah.
So, you see... The issue is not just expanding the scope at training. There's a way our education system works. Everyone follows a route. Everyone wanted to be something.
Yeah.
So there's a route that was followed.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Can we start by expanding that
You can
route?
do a diploma.
Can we expand
go
the
a degree.
Can we
Go do a
expand the
master's.
curriculum at diploma level to cover more?
The issue now is the time. The time is not there because you need to do like 1,000 hours of some of these things. 1,000 hours is not available in the way the program structure has already been advised. So things are fixed. And you cannot rush someone who was not strong in that area as they were coming into the profession. It's not possible to rush things. The reason why neurosurgery takes 5 years, dentistry takes 5 years, medicine is because it's a process of acquiring knowledge so that you can practice. It goes slow because you have to be well-baked. Otherwise, to be training medicine because you have quick. You need many doctors. You train doctors in 1 year.
It's
if
not possible? You have these accelerated programs where someone feels they have the basics. The basics,
yes,
correct?
that is possible.
Then they choose to go do the accelerated program not here, but a place like Dubai, for example, where they're exposed to technology, exposed to modern methods of doing dentistry, surgeries, blah. Come back and are they licensed to operate?
If you have no foundation, you cannot have a roof, a very good roof without a foundation.
But they have the basics.
You see, in medicine and dentistry, foundation is the key. Otherwise, no matter how much you want to shine at the rooftop, if the base is not there, the quality of what you'll be doing is not well known.
So we're saying even this, and I'm going to refer to
what is happening
clinics.
now. You had no core basis of training. You go on YouTube, you go get a certificate somewhere, then you come say, you're a doctor. There's a reason to access some of these trainings. You must show the proof of competence from the word go. So to upgrade means you need to go to school. So some universities, like University of Nairobi and Moi University, they do allow, and we have many, by the way, you should have come with many doctors, community health officers who have upgraded all the way to the dentistry level and even to the master's level. They started the diploma, did the community work, they saw the need and the need to grow. They went to dental school, they did it, they finished. They even went to Uganda, went to Russia, went to Ukraine, went to South Sudan, and they trained and they came back with the real paperwork, having done the thing the way it's supposed to be done. And then you have qualified as a master's. But now shortcuts follow money. Shortcuts follow money. And money is the reason why we're having these issues.
Well, the money is being followed because it's quite lucrative. There's a gap in the market. And
the gap
hence
is
why
a
lot of these professionals have set up shop and they're making money because, like I said, you sit here and you see, first of all, I'm not exposed to the modern methods of dentistry and whatnot. I could take a 6-month course, 1-year course in Dubai, just need to keep flying in, flying out, go get my certification for that, come set up. We've also seen it in skincare practitioners who've come and set up shop. Point is, I think the medical profession as a whole has to go back to the drawing board and interrogate what is currently happening, because the conversations we're having here are very important, but it's still not putting a stop to people setting up the shops because the demand is there, it's lucrative, and there's patient needs that
the Ministry of Health sets the policies. And the policies are already set on what we need as a country and where we're going as a country. And advisories have been given. But you have persons disobeying the advisories. Even right now, as you're speaking, this scope of extension, it's in defiance of a permanent secretary's directive, a director general's directive, a CS directives. So it's awkward now what is happening. So it's either now just an issue of you have just defied the law because of, now we'll just take you for contempt because it is what it is.
So why have you gone to court?
Oh, there is court defiance of the orders given by all the respective officers and even the court judge who was given an order that is as old as now 5 years old.
So the Dental Association and yourself have gone to court to say that the council has defied a previous court order.
You see, in the legal order of regulation, if you do the wrong thing as a person, it's you on it. You just don't know what they say. Why am I not a trained driver? Because I'm not trained.
No, they're not trains in Kenya.
They're trains in Kenya.
Younger trains.
So that aspect of captains in the field requires competency. But all we want to do is make sure that the policies are followed, the laws are followed to the letter, and Kenyans are deserving of the rightful quality of care. Shortcuts are punished. But kila mtu aende tu shule. It takes like 3-4 years, and you qualify, and no one will ever ask you anything or even question you. But to say I can do, because I was with a doctor, I hung out with a doctor, I was in the department with them, I saw, I know, I've watched on YouTube. That's quackery. That's what we call it, quackery.
Okay.
There's no missing words about it.
Dr. Kahura Mundia is the president of the Dental Association, Kenya Dental Association, has been our guest. In the next hour, we talk about unfair and uncompetitive trade practices. Okay? We'll be talking about the Competition Authority. It has gone and found that supermarkets are playing us, some mattress companies reward, some cement companies, some unga companies, and so on and so forth. What is their mandate? Adano Wario is the Director for Policy and Research at the Competition Authority. He is our next guest. Good morning, coming up to 8 a.m.